What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brew master in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a Selesnya Aggro build. It's basically taken the best stuff from Mono White Aggro and or some of the really good stuff from Mono White Aggro and put in some really sweet new cards from Mono Green. It's come up with this sweet humans pile. Which actually a deck very much like this in a best of three, obviously, came second place in the Croquis tournament that happened a little while back. So I've tried to best of one it, turn it into a best of one variant, and this is what I came up with. So the mono white stuff we know already quite well. There's this new card here, the Hopeful Initiate. I might end up just trimming the Paladin classes, or maybe removing maybe one, two of the Chaplain of Alms or two of the Lunarch Veterans, and going up to 4 Hopeful Initiates like in the original list. But I did like this spread because and I'll explain a little bit more about why in a second. But if you can ever cast the Chapel Shieldgeist on its backside, it gives ward 1 to all of your creatures. And one of the new cards, also from Crimson Vow in the deck, from the green that we've watched into the white deck, is this Hamlet Vanguard, which has ward 2 already. This card is insane. It enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each other non-token human you control. So if you go turn 1 Chaplain of the Alms, turn 2 Luminarch Aspirant or whatever, Thalia, turn 3 Hamlet Vanguard, you get a 5/5 with ward 2 on turn 3. So if you play it on turn 4 and you've played Adeline or something, then on turn 4 you play the Hamlet Vanguard, it comes into play as a 7/7 on turn 4 for 3 mana. It's crazy. And if you have ward 2 and the Chapel Shieldgeist giving it ward 1, it's ward 3, and it's 2 separate instances of ward. Really, really sweet. So I don't know. The initial list had 4 Lunarch Veterans and no Chaplain of Alms, no Paladin Class. It was just 4 and 4 of these two. I guess they wanted a bit of life gain by the Lunarch Veteran. I prefer to have the ward. Let's see if I've made a mistake. We might adjust the deck as usual on the fly. And don't forget, the deck that is available in the video description for you guys to copy and enjoy right now as you are watching this is the deck that will have been arrived at by the end of this video. It's the most optimized version that I think is the best one. So, Chaplain of the Alms, Hopeful Initiate, Lunarch Veteran, Paladin Class. Those are our 1-drops. Don't need to talk too much more about those. Then we've got Intrepid Adversary, is a lovely 2-drop. Of course, it's great on turn 4, but it's also really, really good to top deck it like on turn 10, because then you just dump all your mana into this thing and pump your entire squad. Then we're running 2 of these Kabira Takedowns, which I don't often play, but I just thought, let's see. Are we going wide enough that it becomes a good removal spell that doesn't give the opponent a clue token like Fateful Absence does? This might be the better option. There's no downside, really. Unless you've got no creatures on the board, then it's a dead card. But it's an MDFC, so it can be a Plains. Which actually brings our total lands from 22 up to 25. Then we're running 4 copies of the Luminarch Aspirant, of course, 3 copies of Thalia, and 3 copies of Katilda, because they're legendary. I want to make sure I play these cards every single game, so there's 3 of them, but I don't want to play 4 because, yeah, legendary rule. But Thalia, of course, great to stall the opponent. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, and then if you can start putting some tokens from either Luminarch Aspirant or from Katilda onto Thalia, and she grows bigger and bigger and bigger, then the first strike becomes really, really good. So, yeah, that's our 2-drops. On to the 3-drops, and this is where the good stuff, really juicy stuff is. We've got 3 copies of Brutal Cathar, which is, of course, a human on the front side. 2 copies of Adeline. This is where I've gone for 2 of the 2 legendaries. So Brutal Cathar and Hamlet Vanguard, which we've already talked about, are non-legendaries. So 3 in the 3-drop slot. Adeline and Torens, the Fist of Angels, which is the namesake of the deck, is only a 2 because they're legendaries and they're 3-drops. And I just don't want to end up with too many of them in hand at the beginning of the game. Then we've got some card draw. which we desperately needed in the deck because there is no other way we are drawing cards. So I just slotted in a couple of copies of Toski, and I think it should be pretty sweet way to get some cards in the late game. So fingers crossed we get one at some point and we get to actually cast it. And then if you've got some of our flyer or, you know, evasive attackers, then this will be a really sweet little bit of card draw. And then Sigarda, of course, giving all of our humans, which is pretty much everything in the deck except for Toski and the backside of Brutal Cathar, a +1/+1 boost. It is a 4/4 Frampler for 4 that has Coven, and if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human creature card from among them and put that card into your hand and rest in the bottom of your library in random order. So if we can obtain Coven, of course, awesome. That is also a really good reason why Luminarch Aspirant is in here. We can start spreading those counters around where they need to be so that we are always maintaining Coven. And that's the deck. Pretty simple mana base, couple of caves, some basics, 4 of each of the, you know, Path and Overgrown Farmland. Let's jump into the games. I've had the most stressful day today. I played entire day of Magic, and I started on Diamond 1 this morning, and I'm straight back on Diamond 1, exactly where I ended off. I was 1 victory away from Mythic 3 times today. The last guy that like was my gatekeeper into Mythic was a freaking Tybalt Trickery deck. Can you imagine the frustration? And then I just went straight back down to 1 off of that frustrating loss against the Tybalt Trickery deck in best of 3. Anyway, so I'm back to Diamond 1. I need something like relaxing and a little bit janky just to play on the unranked queue, and that's how Angel Fist is just going to serve its perfect purpose. Mwah! Of course, at this point in my videos, as usual, is when I like to do a tiny bit of self-promotion. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, kindly consider doing so. It's close from 400 subs, and I would really love to get there before the end of the month. Ooh. Okay, if we top deck a 1-drop, it'll be an okay hand. Of course, also don't forget to do all that other great YouTube stuff. If you could be so kind as to leave a comment, that really helps with the algorithm. Newbie Tsubasa with mono white. What was I saying? Yes, like the video and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of future daily uploads. Hitting us with a Brutal Cathar. Quite brutal. Oh my gosh, guys, just the worst. I don't think we can come back from that. That's about as GG as GG gets. I never say never. They might be out of these freaking exile effects. Of course they aren't. Ay caramba, we are getting the full treatment here from mono white. Takes my Intrepid Adversary, how dare you. Oh. Oh no, not the cave. So we take 5, we gain 4. We're good. Alright, I'm gonna anyway cast this Intrepid. because we have to. Oh no! The worst possible thing he could have top decked. The bugger. That is just too many of those things to get through right now. But we can make another massive one of these guys. Like, massive. And just see what happens. I mean, we're dead, no? He just swings with the 2 flyers. That sucks. Mono white, everybody. Slow round of applause for the most played deck in Standard. Woo! It's like we escaped to this unranked queue to get away from you guys. Just stay over there, please. Oh, the server issues over the last couple of days have just been destroying my channel's like output. I've been trying to make decks and I can't play. Today went down again for another few hours. I wonder what the issue is. It just never ceases to amaze me. Why they just can't. Why it just doesn't work. So many people working behind it. Such big budget. Never ceases to amaze. But anyway, it still doesn't seem to be 100% sorted. It feels all iffy. That's a nice little hand. For our aggro plan. Katilda. Skadoosh. We're ready to draw lots of cards. Okay. Probably should have kept that Kabira. That's what I thought. Oh, baby, that is a juicy, juicy Hamlet Vanguard. Right in the way of your troll. Whew. Couldn't have hoped for a better thing, to be honest. Blizzard Brawl. Sorry, we've got Ward. Too much toughness. Off you go. Blizzard Brawl, one of my other things, sure. Stone Walling Mono Green Troll Boy with our Hamlet Vanguard. That had to be just the sweetest freaking reason why the card is even in the deck. Oh, baby. On to the next match. Bit of a redeemer there. So far we're doing a tour of the meta. We've played mono white, we've played mono green. Is it going to be Izzet turns next? Hopefully not. Anything but Izzet turns, please. Pretty please. Junboku-san. Junboku-san. Always keep double Luminarch Aspirant in the hands. Another mono green. Or could be Gruul. Please give me a land. Yes! Brutal Cathar on a token is just gotta be one of the nicest plays. Then they're like, why even bother killing it? You know? Not getting anything back. Here comes the troll again. This time we don't have the white source to cast the... Kabira does 2 damage, not enough. So we need to increase our board state. The best thing we can do that with is a second copy of the Luminarch Aspirant. And I think we pressure. Oof. Okay. I was hoping he would just dump his mana into that. First striking. Keeping the Kabira at instant speed. First striking 6/6 with ward 3. Pay 3 life, sorry. That is pretty tasty no matter how much you level up that ranger class, my dear fellow. Oh yeah! 2 mono green guys in a row. Just get out of here. Alright. This deck is gonna be good. I mean, it's got something very similar to this on Untapped and on Either Hub is running on around about 59-60% win rate. So, I mean, that's very close to Mono Green's kind of... Just probably not quite as good of an aggro deck as Mono White is, just purely on its own. When you're trying to just get underneath Izzet turns. And the matchup, as we saw, isn't great against Mono White. So I think a deck like this is really positioned to prey upon Mono Green and like probably those, you know, Azorius tempo builds. This will be pretty good against. Well, let's see who we're gonna face next. Got a nice little hand there. Double Cathars. Opponent's got blue on his sleeves. And a little bear man. This guy's hilarious. Alright. Could be Izzet. Might be Izzet, but it might also be Gruul. It's Izzet, alright. That's a bad iteration. You never turn 2 iteration. And see why you're playtesting this. You can't play that land now. You silly Billy. Meanwhile, we've got a 5/5. Whew. It's quick, this deck. Now if they play any sort of threat, we can just Cathar it. But they're probably looking to remove one of ours, but they've both got ward. We might just get rid of the Aspirant, but we're still coming in for 7 next turn then. And we can play an Adeline. Although, I might not do so if... Okay, sweet. It's tapped out. It's Adeline time, baby. Oh, that is sweet. No sweeper that they can run will be able to handle this board right now. Means we've won the game. I don't think there's anything they can do. They could bounce something. 2 Dragon's Fires. It's not enough. Okay. That's game. Oyakasha. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Off you go, Mr. Izzet. You shouldn't have played that iteration on turn 2, though. That was a misplay. We all make them. I'm certainly guilty. The Fisting Angels. It's just so wrong. Torens fisted. Forget I said anything. Nothing worse than a leaky vape. Okay, if we just get one land, we are cooking with gas. Le Veterano. Oh, this is bad news bears. I should have just killed it, eh? Fortunately, this does not protect from exile effects, so there's a Cathar coming your way. He's definitely going to take the Cathar. I wonder though, he might go for something else. Please don't go for my Cathar. I would like to take your Aspirant. Oh, so very muchly. Takes the Vanguard. Okay. It's a pity. But I'd still rather that happen. Oof, it's difficult to choose. Can try and keep up pace with the Aspirant by playing an adversary next turn and then playing nothing. Forget I said anything. Oh, that is tilty. That is so tilty. It's my lesson. Shouldn't pick targets with good ETB triggers when you are Brutal Catharing somebody. I think that's just gonna be game. Opponent's teasing me. Should have played the veteran first, that was my bad. But I gained 1 extra point of life there. Now we're keeping 2 mana open to use the straw. Come on. Urgh. Well, that allows us to cast the Hamlet Vanguard, but that doesn't do anything about our Elite Spellbinder to Luminarch Aspirant problem. Yeah, I think I mean, whatever. We've got some removal that we can top deck. That might get us out of this bind. in some way, shape, or form. Nah. Wooba. That's a big Vanguard. Be a while before that Aspirant catches up. Now we just need to find a way to get rid of that Spellbinder quickly. With a Kabira would be the best way to go about it, of course. Also, we've put him into a position now where he needs to start putting those counters around elsewhere, because if he just keeps attacking in with the two that he has been, then that leaves him open to attacking from our trainers. Start training those initiates with the Vanguard, and he won't be able to block with the escorts. Let's see if I've analyzed the sitch correctly. No, he's doubling down on these big guys. Okay, that's cool. He might have removal now, like another Fateful Absence. Nah. Sure. I got some chump blockers. Oh, you can start sacrificing some of your Olym box and making your things indestructible. You've got to get through them eventually. He's clearly running 4 in the list, but the problem here is that he also gains 6 life, but there's really just no way of getting around this. I'm not just going to sit here and let him ping me to death with an elite Spellbinder. It's one way of... Oh, no! Okay, it's night. I guess he wasn't thinking. A little misplay there from the opponent. Love my own Brutal Cathar. I'll take a Thalia though. That's not bad at all. Oof, but no, I can't cast 2 spells or it's going to switch it back to day. Keeping alive with these little life gain triggers. They don't top deck very well, this deck, right? So if we just, well, you know, they don't draw any cards whatsoever. So we just burn through these. Maybe get our own freaking removal someday, one of these days. There are 3 of these in the deck, the Kabiras. Oh, crikey, mate. That is scary. Okay, I think it's time to get chump blocking a little bit here. Probably with these little initiates. Ooh. Well, we've lost anyway, so we might as well just Go the whole freaking way. Good game. He's worried I might have a fight spell in hand, which is great. There's a bit of a bluff here because otherwise he would have blocked the Hamlet Vanguard with the 11/11. Damn it. Oh, we got the Kabira and the mana to cast it. However, if we do now, oh, it's a pain in my butt. Whew. Ooh, this is terrifying. I think it's getting to that point, guys. Block the 12/12 with the Toski, take 4. Dangling on. Dear life, like. Whew. There we go. That's what I was dreading. Now it's GG. Just without shadow of doubt. I mean, come on. Look at all that land. .33-minute mark reached. Definitely got time for one or two more after this one. Mono white, so far this is the second matchup against this deck, and I mean triple Aspirant. Good game, man. Kind of. It's really boring. I'm gonna just see what I top deck. If there's any way out of this, maybe a something, I don't know. What could do it? That's one way to start. That's definitely a good start. Make a 12-12. Just get one Brutal Cathar, man. It would just make my day a lot better. Goes to combat. Ooh. Just no luck whatsoever, of course. But I think we've got him. Let's see. Will the 7 life gain? He's also got a Haven to activate. But that's 20 lethal. And a fuss. Oh, was close. That was my plan all along. To activate the cave. And swing him with the class. Unfortunately, he was clever enough to put some extra counters on the Intrepid Adversary. Ah, I win. Yes! Oh, I was praying for that. Like just a little miscalculation. I didn't do the math, but it was just, oh, he was one off. Got him. Got him. That was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, time for our last match of the night. It's got to end on a winner after that lovely little run. It's making me feel so much better about the day I've had on the ladder. You have no idea. Woo, that was a juicy, juicy win. A little revenge against Mono White from the game 1. Mr. Murloc Roy. That is a sweet hand. My Thalia's bigger than your Thalia. Oh, this is a joke, right? Let's wait. Oh yeah. Then we bring in a rather sizey Hamlet Vanguard next turn. Oh no. Where's the hull going? Not my Thalia. Oh well, that's okay. Oh, that's juicy. Oh, wow, that is just lovely. And we have Coven. Could be a Skyclave, though. Okay, no. Going wide. Redain. Oh, wow. Redain. The opponent scoops it up. We got the last victory, thanks to some unranked shenanigans. But that's going to be it for this video. Let's wrap things up with a little bit of final thoughts on the deck. Potential future upgrades. Where I think this archetype is going is definitely in the good direction. I feel like Selesnya got a really good... Oops, wrong deck. A really good helping hand. Sneak peek of tomorrow. Especially this Hamlet of the Vanguard is just phenomenal. Phenomenal card. Replacing the Lovestruck Beast kind of vibes there. Turn 3, 5/5 with Ward 2. Groovy. I do like the adjustments that I made. I felt like the Chaplain of Alms was a great little addition. We always kind of got a fair spread of all three of these things, even though there's only 2 of each. Maybe one more Brutal Cathar and just trim down something. That Toski won us the game at one point there where we drew all those cards. We managed to actually top deck the right answer. And that last match against Mono White was phenomenal. But yeah, I don't feel like there's any changes that need to be made here. I really hope you guys copy the deck and take it for a spin on the ladder and enjoy it. And, you know, leave me some feedback in the comments of how it performs for you. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. Those of you who stick around to the end, thank you all so much for watching. You are my favorite people. Yeah, and until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.